Your ways are not the Saxon ways. This we understand very closely.
Regardless, my
I've spent too long away from the feast. I think I should return to it.
Of course. Go with honor.
as
Okay?
so, I'm gonna speak with Countess Ellen. I think.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. What's the other eighthling?
Asquine. That's the guy from last year who showed up and asked for tribute, and when you said no, he raided your lands. Okay, Sir Sasha, you're sitting next to the Countess. She leans in close and says, "Before the evening is done, Sir Sasha, I would like to have the council, those knights closest to me, meet for a brief session. There are a number of petitioners seeking, of all things, quests, trying to revive the ancient questing tradition of adventure this year. Strange how this
I've
has
heard many
happened.
quests everywhere. In fact, just before I came in, a
Yes.
man named Ellen was offering such a thing.
Alan.
Sir Alan, yes. I do not know what has happened to all of the people all across Britain that all of a sudden they should return to the ancient ways of adventuring, but perhaps this is the new governance of the land. Anyway, enjoy your meal, sir. I understand your wife helped cook it, and remember that I will need your aid on the council to help sway wayward ears, and she says that looking at Sir Marcus briefly.
I'll do what I can.
Okay. So what do you guys want to do next?
Yeah. Maybe we should speak to the what's that guy? Whatever the dragon.
Jermaine the Dragon.
Jermaine the dragon.
Sir
yeah.
Jermaine the Dragon to you.
Sir Jermaine.
Did you recruit him for your football team?
Of course not, he's a pagan.
Yeah.
Sir Sasha has him.
No, I didn't pick him up, but I did pick up 2 pagans and a Christian.
So Sir Germain is now a house knight for the Countess Ellen. So he kind of stays in her hall and waits for things to happen. And instead of serving for 40 days, he serves all year long. As men who do not have houses do. But he gets, pretty sweet bunk and a horse and gear. And he's huge. He's like 7 feet tall. And when he sees you coming over, he says, "Ha ha ha! It is my tiny friends who attempted to defeat me in the melee. How are you?"
Robert say, "We are doing well. And how are you doing, Sir Jermaine? I see you in the service of Countess Ellen."
Yeah, so he leans in close to you and breathes on you with his enormous crooked teeth that are like all yellow and shit. But his mouth smells like mint when he breathes on you. He's like, "I am trying this new drink from the Southern Isles. It's so good. They call it a Bloody Mary." And starts drinking it. It doesn't look like it has any tomato juice in it at all. Doesn't look anything like a Bloody Mary.
It seems you know, and Sir Jermaine, as a
Yes,
vassal
speak
of
up,
Lady Ellen.
Marcus.
Sir Jermaine, as a vassal of the Countess, you care for the defenses of our land of Salisbury?
Of course. I am a knight now.
Yeah. Yes.
I
It
get to
seems
execute
that,
peasants. It's so much fun. I don't have to go through the court system anymore. No listening to stupid council meetings.
that is good. There is a way that the Saxons would have to communicate.
I just out of character, like you just completely passed by the fact that he's like, "Yeah, I love murdering people." You're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Avald
that's
is
great.
like, ugh.
And like Robert's fists are like kind of balling up, but
Okay.
sorry, Marcus's fists are balling up, but he's like, he knows that there's something more important
Oh,
than
really? Well, that sounds exactly like you need to make a pride roll, sir.
Is that a pride roll or a just roll?
No, I'm pretty sure it's a pride roll.
Okay.
Just
where
like
we-
Scar, your words are a matter of pride. I can see from your vacant expression. The lights are not all on upstairs. Okay, yeah, roll the other side of pride. What is that, like modest?
Yeah, modest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Alright, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You're so conflicted on the inside. You're like, oh, don't know if I want to tell him what the fuck's up, but then again, maybe not. So what do you
There's
do?
a way. Yeah. In defense of our lands, we would like to communicate quicker, and I believe you know ways that we may be able to communicate so that we may rally our forces quicker when there
Yeah,
are raiders
he
on
starts
us.
telling you about certain plants that let off different colored smoke clouds that you can use to... Yeah, he, like, starts breaking it down in a not boring way. Like, he's just like, okay, you don't need to know the whole specifics, but obviously, you know, the yellow smoke intermixed with red smoke could mean danger coming from a certain direction. We can work out a cipher system. My brother was pretty good at this, so I have a fairly good recollection, and we can make up a new system so the Saxons can't crack it. Smart. No one ever called me smart before, but now I am a very wise man in the English courts. He raises his enormous mug, which is like 4 pints big. Yum, 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 yum. And he's just like, Sir Marcus, can I offer you a drink? And he just like snatches a drink off a passing lady's like tray and puts it in front of you.
Yeah, Marcus will raise a cup to him, but he won't drink from it, and he'll say, there is much wisdom in the texts of Christ, if it is knowledge you seek.
You wish to speak to me in the gospel of the white Christ? I would sooner die a pagan.
Well, sooner you may die.
I like you, Marcus. You have balls.
Marcus nods, and he says, thank you, Sir Germain. You have displayed your loyalty towards our land. I shall not forget it.
Will you perhaps face me on the sparring field tomorrow morn? You know, assuming that you aren't knocked out with wine.
He says, well, it would give me pleasure to do that.
Very well, then. Maybe you'd like to bring a friend or two.
Yeah, I shall bring my blade. It is my most trusty friend.
Ah, good. I shall bring my axe.
An axe. That shall be interesting.
It's a good, solid Saxon weapon there.
Okay. Yeah, he'll move on then.
Okay, all right. Yeah. You make your goodbyes to him, and he spends the whole time laughing when you're gone. Seems like a pretty laughing guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anybody else got something they want to do?
I probably want to talk to the Duke of Silchester. Just to know.
Yes. Duke Ulfius.
Probably just to intrigue and see how they're faring against the Saxons.
Yeah, so when you arrive, Ulfius is looking a lot older than before. He's actually, like, pretty worn down, and he runs his hand through his thinning hair and says, "Yeah, I apologize. I do not recognize your heraldry, sir. The burning cross is a strong symbol, though."
I come from the family of great knights such as Sermond and Trompiot. Perhaps you've heard of them?
I have. I believe I had the honor of meeting Sir Trompiot. Truly, I saw him from afar, battling 3 Saxons, and he slayed 2 of them. I say that he even took down a bannerman with the help of Sir Robert. Truly a great knight. My condolences, sir, that your family should have passed with such violent deaths in the name of Logres. But things are not well. And he kind of like squeezes his eyes and says, the King of Sussex, the Atheling Ale, Swine's father. He's been demanding further tribute. But if you listen closely to the Saxons, all of them say that Earl of Sussex is the strongest of Saxon kings. I've heard that many of the Silchester nobles are going to ally with King Earl, but withhold vassalage. The Saxon kings are angry with each other, and there's trouble within them. If you could help me convince the Countess to ally with King Earl, to send him tribute and alliance but not vassalage, perhaps we could spark a Saxon civil war.
Perhaps. I will speak with the Countess of this.
Good man, good man. So he kind of like pulls something out. It's like a glass jar with writing on it. Do you have read Latin?
I think it's 0.
Okay. He hands it to you and says, "This is dirt I took from the Battle of St. Albane's, as I lay bleeding and dying on the field. I want you to have it. Aurelius bled and died, if not on this land, then for this land."
I will treasure it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sir Adewald and Sir Sasha, it seems like you would both like to get court intrigue from the serving girls?
Yep.
Yeah, so there are a number of noble women here who are serving. Go ahead and make your intrigue rolls.
Marcus would like to try that as well, I think. He'd give it a go.
Okay.
He's not terrible at it.
Adewald,
nice.
you can mark a check, as can Sir Marcus. Okay, Sir Adewald, you learn the following. One of the ladies, you indicate that somehow that you want to speak on the subject, and she leans in close while like setting drinks down for other people and says, "They say that the Saxons have been keeping their word. They've not attacked anyone who has paid them annual tribute. Hard to believe the Saxons could be so trustworthy, my lord." And then she, pulls away from you. So, Marcus, what was the name of your squire?
My squire's name is...
You might even have
Sir Jamie.
squires. Yeah, Sir Jamie. Sir Jamie comes up to you and is like, "Sir Marcus, I heard a disturbing rumor. They say that Sir Alan has been very brutal. The children he has been having lately are from the serving women of the manors that he has taken in the name of Salisbury. He is a very forceful man, they say. I will not say more, but he is certainly not a good Christian knight. I cannot speak as to whether this is true or not, but there are many such disturbing rumors about." You know what they say. It is known.
Marcus says, "It's good that you have told me of this. Such injustices from the servants of Christ cannot be allowed to go unpunished."
Of course, my lord. And then he,
So yeah, he'll let the
he
others know.
withdraws back into the shadows. I get the idea that Jamie appears from behind you, hey, you can't see the rest of his body, you just see his face. The rest of him is in shadows. He's super creepy. He's gonna grow up to be a Grand Vizier one day. Okay, what do you guys want to do now?
Let's see. I think we're gonna have to
attend to the council meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sasha, Corin, you guys are good with starting the council meeting then?
Yeah.
Okay. The Countess calls the council to order, and she says, "My knights, is there anything that the four of you would like to bring before me? Any outstanding issues before I discuss county business?"
Marcus said, "I wish to thank you, my lady, for your permission to pursue Lady Iona. We have been speaking with Sir Jamie, who you have taken in your service, and he has given us some most interesting information, which will allow us to communicate over great distances quickly through the use of different plants, which let off different colored smoke. We can use this to provide ourselves early warning of any intruders or any raids that may come upon us."
She's like, perhaps I will have Sir Germain begin the effort to construct such fire towers and gather the plants. He is a unique knight, and I would rather not have him in my castle for much longer. Very brutish oaf, but quite strong, and much more clever than I would have anticipated. If only he did not keep trying to sleep with the help.
Well, such are the ways of those of Saxon heritage. Though I'm glad that he is proving himself to be a loyal addition to your court, my lady.
So when you say Saxon heritage, she leans in close to you. So Marcus, will you move in close to her?
Yeah. Of course.
Is it appropriate to be leveling insults about Saxon heritage with Sir Adewald here?
I do
She
not know
met
what
my
lady
father,
means.
for goodness sake.
My lady, Sir Ewald is of Salisbury stock for many generations.
I have heard many rumors to the otherwise. Sir Wolfram speaks long and far about his heritage, and claims to have noble documents pertaining to it. I have not perused them myself, but he has convinced a great many people.
Oh. Well, then someone is spreading very troubling rumors. We must
I think
not
I
allow
know
them to
who I'm
continue.
employing my siege engineer
First
for.
off, the two of them are speaking privately,
I know.
unless
Yeah.
Sir Marcus is gonna let you
Yeah, he
know
says-
later.
Marcus was saying, my lady, we must not allow the name of such a good knight and someone whose family has served you and old Roderick for so many years. Yeah, go tarnished.
Perhaps,
It would,
but what if it's true, Sir Marcus? What if it's true? Can we truly allow a secret Saxon in our midst? Perhaps you should look into these rumors yourself and prove or deny the validity.
I shall take this task upon myself, my lady.
Excellent. She leans back and says, "Is there any other business you would like to add to the agenda?" Very well. She begins going through the list. Sir Alan was looking to take on the Silchester knight Sir Benham. Sir Benham is, of course, owing his loyalty to Sir Donovan, and through that to many Silchester lords. But he has, of late, in the last dozen years, taken a few Salisbury manors, and while some of them have exchanged hands back, there's a very prominent one along the border road. Sir Elaine is looking for knights to help him. If you have any house knights that are not assigned to castle defense you would like to send to this, or if this is something you'd like to undertake yourself, or perhaps even if you think it truly wise, we could send some squires that way, if it's not too difficult.
My lady, we have heard some troubling rumors. Is Sir Alan here with us right now?
Sir who?
Is Sir Ellen present?
No, Sir Alan is not on her council. He's 18 years old and was just made a knight.
Okay, just checking. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have heard some disturbing rumors about the manner in which Sir Alan is conducting his business. Particularly troubling rumors about how he has been treating the women in these manners.
So she frowns and her face gets quite dark and says, "Oh, in what manner do you..." And then she takes a breath and says, "Be very careful about what you are about to say to me.
I do not...
Remember that the laws of hospitality apply here."
Says, I have heard troubling rumors about the manner in which Sir Alan has been acquiring his children, his offspring. I do not know if these are true or not, and I would not speak ill of a knight of my lady's court
She
unless
says,
I knew the
"You have literally just done so, sir, after my
Yeah,
own
I said-
warning."
Yeah. I
Lady.
say these are rumors, and I do not know if they are true, but we shall personally, I think, take on this task if it... I look to the others to see if they're okay with it,
So
and
Adewald
that we may
will
vitiate
step
these
forward.
rumors.
Adewald will step forward and simply say, "I understand the concerns of Sir Marcus. Please allow me to take myself and my subordinate knights, and perhaps, should he
She holds
and
up her
serve as a
hand and says,
moderating influence.
I
if necessary.
apologize. We can no longer allow this. Sir Marcus, you have accused Sir Alan of rape.
I'm not accusing him. I said I've heard a troubling rumor, which I want to vitiate. Well, what I'm saying is essentially that we should go personally so that we may clear his name if it is untrue, and that we may, attest to his honor. And if the
I will have to go myself. I am the only one who can judge him in this crime.
Perhaps we may investigate and while performing this task for my lady and provide you with the information so that you may then adjudicate appropriately.
Sir Adewald, you were saying something about this.
I had offered,
Go ahead.
milady, whichever course you choose, I will provide whatever resources you need in order to offer to the correct judgment. I simply offered my services to attend to the task that you had suggested, that Sir Alan had come up with, and that by my presence I would be able to, were there any misbehavior, I would be able to prevent it and also to testify as to his likely behavior on previous occasions based on his...
So I'd like to make an offer then. Can we run this as a solo scenario for Sir Adewald and Sir Marcus with the Countess Ellen attending, and you investigate Sir Alan this year?
Sure.
What we thought is we'd go on the quest, I think, for Alan, and if we get to interact with him, then we can maybe learn something along the quest rather than doing it separately.
Is that something everybody wants to do? You're all behind the acquire Silchestrian manor.
I mean, we'd like to hear what the other things are, but it sounds interesting.
Sasha's sort of definitely behind figuring out if the accusations are applicable, because it's not really something he'd take kindly to.
I did just try an ally with a Silchestrian Duke, so not fully behind that.
Do you want to say something about that meeting, by the way, now that you have the Countess's ear?
Yes, I'd probably tell her that the Duke wishes us to ally with King Ale, the king, because to perhaps start a war between the Saxons.
So she says, we shall set this business with Sir Alan aside. Let's speak then on the Saxons. Both Cynric and Wessex and Esquine of Essex are looking for tribute. They are both saying the same thing, pay up or be attacked. Can we fight them? Can we afford to pay? They're asking for £100 apiece. And alliance, we must serve them 40 days of military out of the year. What are your thoughts? Cedric has a clear claim as the King of Britain, though it is through the foul one, Vortigern. But more importantly, he employs many British knights. And King Ale, very powerful. Although Esquine absolutely hates Marcus, I'm sure that we could find some way to get forgiveness if we were to ally with them. And either way, how do you feel about starting a civil war among the Saxons? Tell me what you think, knights. This is a very important issue.
Having them kill themselves is much easier for us, and probably the best solution for the Saxon plague.
Do you say that while, drinking something? I feel like that's something someone would say at, Game of Thrones, at, a table.
A small table.
Yeah.
A small council.
Yeah. It's totally we should let the Saxons kill each other.
I do believe that fighting alongside one side of Saxons against another would lead to less deaths overall, since I am for I am against the loss of life in all situations. Though it seems some of my comrades here are against the life of all that are not Christian.
Well, milady, it seems that I doubt it will be possible for us to pay both sides, and regardless, with their request for an alliance, they will, if they are likely to fight against each other, there is no way that we can pay both.
She says we can pay one side or the other, Or if we keep the money for ourselves, we can finish construction on the city's outer walls.
Perhaps hold off the alliance for a short time longer?
I do not. I think in terms of building our defenses, our best strategy is to ally with one and thereby hold off the raids of the other, which will allow us to have the resources to finish the wall.
So when you say that, she says, if we ally with one of them, the only monetary flow towards the wall can only come from volunteers from knights who are willing to pay. And it has been a bad year for many knights. It could be some time before we have the free estate to pay for the finishing of the walls.
Milady, how much is still required?
52 pounds.
I think we could raid that much in 1 year, could we? That doesn't sound like...
That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's quite a bit.
My lady, I would
You would have
suggest
to
that
raid like 24 manors in order to get that much.
Yeah, so I'd say, my lady, perhaps we should finish the task that we have already begun. The defenses would be the most
Urgent.
prudent. Yeah, would be the most urgent. If we can protect the city of Salisbury, then we may take a more stronger stand.
So she says, if we protect the city, then the manors shall fall individually. While Sir Aidwald and Sir Corin both have lands with strong defenses, and I understand, Sir Marcus, you've begun construction on a number of projects on your own lands. Your manors, your villages will still be vulnerable. The Thorpes will be overrun with Saxons.
That is why, my lady, perhaps we should consider a slightly longer service for a few years so that we may be able to better protect our lands with the use of these fire signals.
Milady.
That we may confront any raiders that happen upon the lands of Salisbury. It would also be better that we could show strength rather than weakness, that we may establish ourselves as a strong British county, whereas the others show weakness. It would be a great legacy for the young Earl Robert. The young Earl Robert.
Named after your brother.
Maybe.
So
I don't know.
Aidwald will step forward and say, Milady, if I understand correctly, our primary issue is providing the extra income so that
she says, is it the primary issue? Or the raids by the Saxons in the Civil War?
By the Saxons are... I wish to volunteer, if we choose to pay the Saxons, I will pledge an extra 15 pounds this year to assist in the wall being built faster.
A generous offer, sir.
Well, I have not the means to offer donations, obviously. I am a bit more on the side of allying ourselves with the southern, I can't remember his name, Syndrix, I think?
Yep,
Syndrix.
Is that the one where we only have to
son,
pay them,
Syndrix.
and that would result in civil war? Is that the one?
Well, in either case,
if you pay them, they aren't going to attack you, and they'll defend you from the other Saxons.
Mm-hmm. And the other Saxon already kind of burned us, so I'd prefer to ally with one who hasn't burned our people yet.
Yeah. And that's the same 100 pounds?
Knights.
Are we decided then? We shall ally with the Atheling Sinric and the County of Wessex. I love Sir Marcus is like, nah, that ain't me, dog. He's
Marcus
like,
wants
no,
to like protect
man,
the wall and fight.
no, I only got a blue flag out my backside, but only on the left side.
Marcus wants to fight them. He wants to try and protect defend against the raids that'll come.
Okay, so let's take a party vote then. Sir Marcus, you want to fight all the Saxons?
Not fight all the Saxons. Whoever raids us,
just fight. Fight back.
Yeah, fight back. Do the defensive stuff.
They're like that movie,
complete the
Never
wall.
Back Down, because that's
Yeah.
all you want to do is never back down.
Yeah.
Sir,
And finish the wall.
Sir
Finish the
Aidwald,
wall.
what's your plan?
Aidwald is in favor of allying with King Serdic, and he will pledge to extra income in order to try and finish the wall faster.
Sir Sasha, what's your vote?
Aligning with Sir Cindrix as well.
And Sir Corin? What is that noise? Where's that coming from?
I think it's on
That's from me. That's rain.
Wow,
On the
that's
roof.
some intense
Jeez.
ass rain, man.
Okay, so I'm
Welcome to owning a blue Yeti, bro.
Yeah.
I vote just for paying the Saxons to fight each other.
Yeah, that's what you're
Yeah.
doing when you
But-
pay tribute to Cerdric.
Yeah.
He'll
No,
fight on your behalf.
On
Yeah.
that note,
Do we-
though, Corin, this
Okay.
is of course going to be a defensive kind of alliance, not something where we are
Yes.
paying them to kill each other. We are
Yes, I do
defending our
believe.
lands with them.
Yeah. But since the
Yeah, we're
Saxons are
hoping it
already
turns out.
raiding us, I imagine they'll fight each other in this battle in this coming year.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happens is the Countess kind of adjourns the council temporarily to announce this before Cynric and Aesquine. And so, the hall, everyone's standing up at their seats. All of the women are like along the walls just watching, because this is a pretty interesting moment here. And a page announces the news while the Countess Ellen looks on. A page announces the news to Cynric and Aesquine, who are both standing at like the heads of two different sides of the room in the banner hall. And Cynric turns toward Aesquine and says, "Sir Aesquine, your years are numbered now. We will turn the full might of Wessex against Essex, and soon your lands will be ours. Your father, King Ael, has for too long forsaken the lands of Britain, the true birthright of the High King Cedric." And Aesquine is like, "You will pay for this, insolent worm. All of Salisbury will burn at the hands of Essex, and all of Wessex shall burn at the hands of Essex. We will be back. You cannot stop Ale." And then he storms out of the room, and you can hear a number of British knights working for Cynric. So they're British knights who have pledged themselves directly to the Saxons. They're so dishonorable, such an ignoble beast, that Aesquine. And the hall, as Ale leaves, everyone's slow clapping, yeah, yeah. And Count Cecilin is like, "My people, Salisbury will be protected this year. We will not suffer another set of raids by those alien barbarians. King Ale will not pass our borders again, and with our allies from the south, we will defend south of Britain. We will bring back the greatness and reunite the kingdom underneath Cedric's borders."
For the Christian Britain.
Sorry,
For Salisbury!
Cedric.
As I start to hear for Corin say Christian.
For Great Britain.
For Great Britain.
Yeah. All right, she calls you back to the council room and says, "Let's see here. Oop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
That's what she says.
No.
I know.
Someone was asking if there were droid characters in Edge of the Empire, so I was like, doop-a-doop-boop-boop. Because the droids all. She says, "I have a message here from a man named Farouk Abdul Gom Jabbar. He is an Armenian from the Sassanid Empire of Persia. He is seeking to expand his Mediterranean trade routes. Apparently, he's been attempting to punch a hole to Salisbury to get a hand on our quality wood and some of our finer goods. It is said he could bring us silks from the Far East, spices from the Greek coast and Italia. He could bring us word from the mainland and the continent, and furs and hides from the darkest lands of Africa. Is this something we wish to pursue, a trade relationship with this Gom Jabbar?"
Is there any reason that we would not?
He is
Should not.
Not he. Yeah, she says he is a Zoroastrian, not a Christian, and he comes from a land far east of Jerusalem.
Neither is he pagan, nor is he Watanic.
He is Zoroastrian. They are a unique religion.
As
One day
is every
they
other.
will probably die out, and you'll never hear of them again. In modern days,
If it is merely his beliefs that we consider not doing any trade, I believe that we should do trade entirely.
how do the rest of you feel?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, trade is always good. It brings in money. Yeah.
There.
Marcus is all Latin and stuff, so he's all like educated and shit. So
I see no
He's a good
reason to
pro-trade.
weaken ourselves just because he is not Christian.
Yeah.
That's good coming
I'm glad
from you.
this.
Okay,
glad to see
so
everybody's opening their minds.
yeah, she's like, very well. Perhaps the additional income and the flow of trade can bring us new wealth and new information, and more importantly, new goods. I myself was looking forward to a number of chapbooks from France.
Back to the whole France craze.
Yo, man, France is big in England. She says, the final note I have here is someone named Perkins. He's a squire, not a squire, he's a scholar of some minor renown. He claims to have learned the 3 roads and the 4 roads, some learned philosophy. He wishes to travel to Oxford. Oxford is currently, I have no direct knowledge of it, but they say it is surrounded by bandits. He is simply seeking a few squires or perhaps a knight or two to escort him to Oxford so he can set up a school there, something he calls a university.
Marcus is immediately
Educational
interested in pursuit
facility.
of knowledge. Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
The
Certainly.
university at
That is,
Oxford.
sounds like a
Very
promising
fascinating.
proposition. Yes, and Marcus is totally for that. He'd be happy to
Would
volunteer.
any of you wish to commit squires to this escort job? Or perhaps attend to it yourself?
Adwald would be interested in attending to it. He was...
Yeah.
So I think you are... If you do this, it's a solo scenario, so you can't also do the Sir Alan quest.
I would rather do this than the Sir Alan thing, actually.
I can...
Well, if you all want to commit to this, we can do this as your thing for the year.
why don't we do this?
Is everyone good with escorting
Yeah.
the scholar to Oxford? Of everyone's like, yeah, that sounds really interesting. I want to do something
No.
ultra boring. All right. Now that you've committed to it, I'm going to have to tell you, it's actually going to be awesome.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm sure
Yeah.
it will be.
Okay. So she then comes back around to the beginning of the discussion and says, we never did decide what to do with Sir Alan. If you are spending the summer escorting Perkins to Oxford, you may not have time to work in a trip with Sir Alan. Perhaps one or two of you would like to investigate these rumors on your own, or perhaps capture this manor with him and see what you can learn.
I will...
But I would not want Salisbury associated with a man of rough discipline, if you know what I am saying. A man
Maybe.
who would take women on his own is not acceptable in this county.
Milady, I have a suggestion. I have 3 knights in my employ who are of high noble character, who served under my brother and currently staff the order of the Chevalier de Croix Rouge.
She nods and says, yes, I remember when they were formed.
Perhaps I should send them on this mission along with Sir Alan, and they are of sufficient character that they can report back on exactly how he conducts himself.
She says, perhaps they are of sufficient character. I understand that they are mere peasants who were up-jumped to knights, but I suppose at some point I must start trusting them. Yes. Yes,
Maybe
this would
then
be a
I
good
shall
outing
also
to have them prove their worth on.
My lady, I would also suggest that Sir Roderick attend with them as well. He is a noble knight.
You are
who
sending
has
one of your
served-
knights as well.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Certainly. He has proved himself in his service to my brother, who knighted him himself, and has served my family well. He is someone I would trust
You mean Sir Hendrix?
to report truly. Yes, Sir Hendrix, that's what I meant.
You said Sir Roderick.
Sir Hendrix, sorry. I meant Hendrik. Yeah. I would trust him not to be swayed and to report truly to me.
I remember Hendrix as a squire. Actually, I believe I agree with this.
Very well.
Okay.
So it is decided. We shall send some fresh knights, if not young knights, and their squires
Hendrix
with
isn't
them.
too young. Yeah.
Yeah, neither are the Knights of the Red Cross. They're actually getting up there.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hendrix is 26 now, I think.
Yes, a number of experienced men, if not experienced knights, would be an excellent thing. And we'll place Sir Hendrix at the head of the party, as is obvious for such a glorious and well-founded knight.
I shall instruct
noble
them not
birth.
to take any action, but just to merely observe and assist. Alan, and
And
to
assist?
report back. Assist doesn't like just to seem like
Sorry.
he's with them.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I just sounded wrong. I said it. I was like, yeah, no, that's not what I meant.
Okay, so at the end of the discussion, Sinric enters after politely announcing himself and says, Countess Ellen, I wish to hire soldiers and knights from you. I can take the payment directly out of your tribute. We will need them for a certain military operation soon. And the Countess says, This is unacceptable. I will not declaim that my knights and footmen are to serve as mercenaries. They serve Salisbury only. You can request our aid through me, but I will not sell them to you.
What is it this aid that you need is for?
The Isle of Wight has refused tribute to Essex, and as a result we are going to storm it and take it. With control of Wight, we may have control of certain trade lanes, and we'll have a naval base with which we can strike back out at Essex. Secure safe transit. Perhaps from there we can take Cornwallis, or a direct trade route to Frankland.
You said they refused tribute. Is there more to the story? They just refused
we
it?
asked them for money, and they did not pay us. Just the Saxon way.
Like what happened to us last year, basically, is what they want to do to someone else, and
Yeah.
they want our help. I don't think we should.
It's not exactly something that a knight should partake in. If it
I was
were
first
them
thinking
attacking
maybe,
your...
if it was
If they
attacking
were-
some other Saxons, I would have helped. Because
Or, I mean, if it was
then
them
we'd
being
have
attacked
researched
too,
it.
I would help. But
Yeah.
if it's them attacking for money, I imagine they have their own men for that.
We don't want to help them actually against the Britons. We want to just minimally help them, just enough so we don't get in trouble.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't mind helping them if it's for a good cause, but just because they didn't pay up, I feel like
No, I'll just stand by quietly.
I'd have to know more the other side that they're taking tribute.
That's
from.
not part of the conversation here. Just the
Yeah.
two of them are talking. The adults are talking. The
It
conversation
doesn't
ends
go.
there.
Marcus won't interrupt.
Yeah, she says we're not going to let you buy mercenaries. He explains what they're going to go ahead and do, and then he leaves when she says no.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next day you get a messenger from Tintagel. He stops by the castle and says, Idris, King of Cornwall and Brittany, is attacking Tintagel, and I have been sent with instructions to seek out Queen Igraine to ask her for what we should do to defend the castle. And Countess Ellen is like, Queen Igraine has taken up at the monastery at Amesbury. Seek out the Lady Iona. No, it's not Iona, right? The Lady Eloise. She can help you find your way there. Alright, so now that we got that out of the way, I think now's a great time to take a break.
Yep.
So we're going to
Starving
take
to
a
do some
10-minute break. Follow, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment in the YouTube section below if you have a favorite NPC so far. I'm thinking it's Jermaine the Dragon, but you know what? Some people might like someone else.
Oh, nobody can like anyone else.
I think I know it is. It's got to be Sir Hendrix.
I like Hendrix, actually.
All right, we'll be back in 9 minutes.